won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might, I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might, I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know, I won't try, cause that shit might blow my high. I don't know.
All right. Hello and welcome, everybody. All right. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Going to take a moment here to get settled in, and then we'll get going. I don't have any particular plans. We'll just do a pretty standard stream. It is the first stream of the year, so maybe we'll spend a little bit more time on some of the macro concepts, but we'll run through Bitcoin, take a quick gander at ETH, then we will run down the line of shitcoins and address any topics you guys bring up, any questions. I would appreciate it if we didn't do any ticker spamming until I get to the altcoin section, please, just to keep the chat a little bit cleaner so I can read a little more easily. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday. I tried my best not to trade during the holiday, but I'm an addict, so I definitely did a little bit. But, I was focused on relaxing a little bit here and there, so had some good opportunities to spend time with family and friends. So yeah, I definitely hope you guys had a good holiday. Yeah, so before I get into it, I'm going to do the obligatory press the like button shill. So yeah, if you could do me a favor and press that like button, it really does help out a lot with the YouTube algo. Particularly, the YouTube algo doesn't like me right now because I've been playing music that is copyright. So yeah, do me a favor, press that like button. We're going to override the anti-algo from the music with the likes. That's how we're going to keep playing good music. Yeah, so I tried to play non-copyright music today because I didn't want to... do a little experiment and see if I'm going to get another warning today because they keep spamming me. They're going to shut me down. YouTube's scared of how strong the stream is. Alright, enough being an idiot. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into some stuff here. So I'm going to kind of do a top to bottom rundown on Bitcoin. We will cover plans. I have made some changes to my positioning recently, so we'll dive into that a little bit. So yeah, we can have a proper Bitcoin rundown right now. If there's any questions specific to Bitcoin, throw them in the chat while we're running through it, and let's save the altcoin conversation for later. And yeah, just so you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of periodic water breaks here and there. Actually, should have got more water before I started the stream. That's a huge F. Okay, so let's get into some Bitcoin higher time frame, and then we'll work our way down. Let's go to the 12-hour for this, and let's let this populate for a second. Grab some of this old price action. All right, so this is where we're at, right? We just got a fresh start to the year, and my plan going into the holidays, well, let's kind of start top to bottom, right? Maybe do super light review. I'm tired of doing 2023 review because I've been doing that so much in the group, but essentially we had a massive uptrend all year long, couple of big pukes, right? Like the bank scare, and then this one I don't even think really had a particular reasoning. But really strong uptrend. High time frame VWAPs are incredibly supportive. If you fought this trend, you just got run over consistently. So yeah, where we're at now, as we got into Q4, we talked about this kind of momentum drive. Let's change color on that. This was a lot of momentum on this drive, and we talked about the idea that value would probably continue to shift up, which is what we got. We got the value shift into the next impulse. So leaving off where we were at from there, essentially is now we are currently, or we were at least, because we just popped through it finally, but we were building the range between the 2021 yearly VWAP and between the 2022 macro composite value real low right here, right? So these were the two levels that were containing price. Well, from a macro standpoint, ends up that we had a lot of lower time frame supports in here, which we'll go through in detail once we get to there. But essentially the core plan is that price should be wedged between 45 and 38K, and as long as we're in between there, I wanted to be risk off on my Bitcoin. If we get above 45K, then we go to 54. If we get below 38, then we go to 32. This has been the core plan for several weeks now, so this is what I'm working with. As it stands, I'm hopeful that we are breaking above this right now. I wish I could draw a circle around that too for illustrative purposes, but this is basically what I'm working with right now. Is I do think we are accepting above this. If we get back below this region, then I'm going to go back to being risk off. So there you have it, lads. I have officially gone back to risk on with my portfolio. I did last night before we got some of these really aggressive spot flows. So yeah, I was trading a lot last night, a lot of shitcoins in particular, which shitcoins are getting really, they're really underperforming Bitcoin right now, which is really interesting. So yeah, Bitcoin's doing a bit of a liquidity suck right now on this drive up, which is what we want to see. It sucks when you're long altcoins and they're not going up with Bitcoin, but in the slightly longer term outlook, it is definitely a healthier sign when Bitcoin is in king mode. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, right, for the higher time frame outlook, right? As long as we're holding, get the drawing tool, as long as we're holding above this, we should probably be making our way towards 54K. If we get back below 44 into the 43s, there was a lot of volume transacted in like the 43 region. So if 43 doesn't hold and kind of, you know, this kind of region doesn't hold and we start to get below that, you know, this is worry sign number one, is losing this kind of region. Getting below 43 is, you know, you definitely want to be risk off at that point, because we would probably be going to the, you know, lower 38 to 36 region. And if we lose that, then we're going all the way to my macro dip buying zone. So I still would love an opportunity to buy 32K. This macro support region is the ultimate support, but I don't have, you know, too much hope that I'm going to get to buy there anytime soon. I think in the long run, we probably will get an opportunity to buy here. And if you get this opportunity, you really want to take it. I think that if we come back here, people, you know, assuming that the context of the market doesn't change, if the context stays the same of what we're working with right now, where we're relatively strong uptrend, or not relatively, we're a pretty strong uptrend with supportive flows. If we come back to this region with that same kind of context, you're going to want to buy this. If you don't, you're going to regret it for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is macro dip buying zone. If we get there, I could see 38 to 36K being the actual macro dip buying zone, because we don't ever come this low. So these are the two kind of key areas that I want to potentially be trying to add to portfolios and potentially be sending swing longs. As long as we're above 44K, I think we should probably be risk on with Bitcoin. So I see somebody in that chat asking, are you still hedged on your Bitcoin? No, when I say I'm going risk on with my Bitcoin, that's what I mean. So I have my Bitcoin spot is unhedged, so it is long again. And I even have a perpetual long on, it's 50% size, but it's from 35K. I had all that hedged out, but I'm back to being long again from last night. Like basically as soon as the flows came in right off the open, of the current day, that was my sign to get long. So about 30 minutes to maybe 25 minutes into current day's open, I pivoted, which obviously price had already moved a bit without me, but things are looking okay right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it for higher time frame. If there's any questions on that, let me know. I think that should be pretty straightforward. I do think that, you know, the main focus is, as long as we're over 44K, I think we should drift up towards 54. If we lose 44K, then we're probably going to go back towards at least 40. But, you know, I do definitely have a different view on medium and lower time frame and stuff. So we can probably go ahead and move our way down there. If there's any questions on this stuff, throw it in the chat and I can always come back. But let's take a quick gander at the VWAPs. So important VWAP lesson to always point out is the idea that, you know, at the beginning of the year, VWAPs are, you know, VWAPs have importance for me regardless of the time of the year, but this is one of the most pivotal points for VWAPs, because this is the only point in the year where all your VWAPs are the same VWAP, right? Your monthly, your quarterly, your yearly, your weekly, they're all the same VWAP for the next couple of days. So we have, you know, not too much to go off of for the VWAPs, right? It's mostly review from what we're looking at. So quick scan on the yearly is the 2022 was pretty supportive of bullishness, right? 2023 was obviously a really bullish VWAP. The main thing to focus on are going to be the two kind of dip buying zones from the yearly standpoint. So we can see that the yearly value are high on the VWAP and on the profile are roughly in that 32K region, as well as, you know, this kind of macro composite right here. So that's the confluence that we get for the 32K region, which really the 32K, it's, it's from 32 all the way down to 29, to be clear, right? And then below 29 is where you're invalidated on the macro bull, in my opinion. The other kind of key thing to point out on the yearly is going to be probably like this kind of key zone, right? So this low volume node, and these kind of, there are singles here on low time frame, which we'll go and look at, I believe. But yeah, I mean, currently this area, this is what I had been focused on for the immediate support. So we'll see that as we drop down into medium time frame and other VWAPs. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the quarterly. So first thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the value hold, right? So when you have like, when you have an impulse, a directional impulse, and you see price holding the value rate high for a VWAP, that's generally an incredibly bullish sign. And this is something that you will very seldom see on Bitcoin. So you want to make a mental note when you see this. It's something you'll see much more likely on altcoins, but I'm not going to get into that too much because I don't want to leak it all. But essentially, the quarterly, super bullish, right? The band's bullish. The VWAP is bullish itself. The structure is bullish. Everything about the quarterly was bullish. One of the key things to take away from the current structuring on the quarterly, right, is the value rate high, right? So it's clearly holding as immediate support. With this kind of impulse region. So this is the immediate support region for the current range, is 40K basically. And that's been the thesis throughout the whole development of this value, is that this was, that 38K was kind of the big support, but we expected the 40K to hold and that this would be troublesome for bears to successfully get through. That's it for the quarterly. I don't think there's anything to really say on the monthly other than maybe we get a tiny bit more confluence. In the form of the monthly value area low effectively was, adding confluence to that 40K regional support. And I don't really care about any of this other stuff. I recommend paying very close attention to the immediate weekly VWAP, right? As long as this immediate weekly continues to print bullishly, then that could, definitely help us as we trade up into the ETF. So yeah. Let me do a quick ETF ramble because I know that that's something that a lot of people are interested in. Side note, we have 140 people watching and 42 likes. Press that like button for me. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can predict how the ETF is going to play out or anything. I just have a couple of kind of rough plans. So essentially the core plan that I'm working with is I do think that based off of what I'm seeing in the flows the past like 16 or 17 hours is that I do think that we will probably go up into the ETF event. And then from there, it'll be a decision point of does it get approved or denied? I'm just going to keep things really simple, guys. I'm going to just stay room temperature IQ with all this shit. So I do think that we're probably going to go up pretty much no matter what into the event. That's what momentum and flows are saying to me. Subject to change. As we get to the event, though, I think that let's keep it really simple. If we get approved, we go up, right? If we get denied, we go down. But both of these are going to kind of resolve the same way, where I think that if we get approved, we will go up, and then we will go down a lot eventually. And then at the end of it all, we go up at the end, right? So regardless of whether it gets approved or denied right now, I think that we're going to go up in the long run. I think that the strength of this trend is still very legitimate. So I know that this is probably one of the uglier drawings you've ever seen me do, but you get to, the idea is there either way. Hopefully that's all clear. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into medium time frame Bitcoin. Okay, so for medium time frame Bitcoin, a couple of things to talk about. The most important and key thing is going to be the triangle, right? So I've been, again, I'm here to make money. I don't care about trying to be smart. So I'm perfectly comfortable accepting the role of being 70 IQ in the market. That's totally fine with me. So I've been trading triangles like crazy. Altcoins in particular, triangles are just working, right? When you see triangles on fresh altcoins, you just buy them. It's that simple, right? Same kind of thing playing out with Bitcoin essentially. So this is what I have been kind of eyeballing, right? Is we have definitely had, so the shape of the triangle matters a lot, right? I'm not going to fully explain this. I'm going to make sure that you do some of it yourself, but right, think about the context of if a triangle is doing this, where it's making lower highs and higher lows versus a triangle that is making consecutive highs and higher lows, right? Think about the context between the two differences, right? And you're going to see both on your charts all the time. This is an instance where we have equal highs, right? With higher lows. So it's pretty fucking bullish, right? So the triangle, right, that should be pretty straightforward. I'm not going to ramble about that too much, right? This is the current composite that we're working with, right? As long as we hold above this kind of region, this high volume node, we're pretty bullish, right? So we want to see bulls either get back into this macro value area low right here from 2021, or we want to see support held here, right, to move forward. So these are the two ways that I see medium time frame moving upwards, is that either we come back to this kind of region and get bought up, or we just reaccept back over, which is probably the more likely, is the just straight up bullish scenario. But at the end of the day, I'm just fucking flipping a coin when I say that. I don't actually know. That's pretty much it for medium time frame, right? I'm definitely still paying close attention to the anchor view ups from the 34K impulse. But yeah, that's pretty much it, right? I think that if this thing pulls back, you want to buy it, right? Until this kind of key region is lost, right? You really want to buy any dips into this region want to be bought, right? If you get a dip into the 41K, that's pretty much a gift right now. I don't even think that we will dip that low. So we'll digress from that, and then we will catch up with chat for a moment and move on to altcoins. Then we'll do ETH first. Take a quick scan of the daily TPO. I mean, things are looking good. Things are looking good currently. All right, let's go to ETH. All right, let me catch up with chat for a moment. Did you cover the CME yearly level? No, I don't. I don't know what you mean by that. No, the yearly level, like the yearly high that it set. Because yeah, so the flows on the CME were pretty aggressive yesterday, guys. The CME was leading quite a lot yesterday. So that's probably what Greg's talking about here, but no, I don't really care too much about the CME personally. It's not that I don't care about it. It's just not something that I factor into my decision a lot of the time. Guys, I actually put out a tweet about this about 15 minutes before I started the stream, and it's a really important idea. I actually had some other chads on CT that were commenting and kind of adding to the idea, so I would check it out. But essentially, one of the very common traits between people that survive and or thrive as traders is constantly removing unnecessary things from your decision making and making things as simple as possible. What's your end of year speculation for Bitcoin? I mean, if I'm being honest, we're getting a little too far out there, you know, for Bitcoin. My end of year, I mean, guys, I play things much more close than that. I'm not saying I'm not trying to swing trade and whatnot, but for me to predict what's going to happen at the end of the year, look at what happened this past year. I did not think we would be closing out the year this high. I was all for the beginning of the trend, but I really didn't think that we would make legs like this. You know, I was fortunate to participate in it, but I actually did try to fade this originally on the first kind of major impulse into 28K. So where are we going to end by the end of the year? You want me to just make up some fucking scenarios? If we're super bullish, 2024 probably looks something like us trading up, trading down, and then trading up more later into the year, right? And maybe making all-time highs near the end of the year. Or we could get more of a chop stage where we do this kind of up move, down move, and then maybe make lower highs and trade back towards the lows. Who knows, right? It's when we're talking about 12 months, it's just too far out. There's too much randomness. And my opinion's honestly going to change a lot over the next 12 months, I'm sure, here and there, right? I'm going to come on the stream and have very different opinions as things progress. You think your Bitcoin plan is still valid post TTF approval or denial? Should I ask what changed? Well, I think that you asked this probably after I covered my ETF plan, which I'm keeping very simple. I think that after the ETF, we either go up and then go down, or we just go down right away. I think that ultimately we go down bigly on Bitcoin and kind of wash people out before those kind of ETF flows really start coming in. But again, I really try not to be a predictor, guys. I'm definitely trying to be, I just follow the systems and trust my gut and not get caught in one bias. ETF seems priced in. It probably is to an extent. I personally don't believe in the priced in thing. I've said this for years now. Markets really, I don't actually believe that markets effectively price things in. I've don't have as much experience trading traditional markets, so I can't say as much for them. But I've been trading crypto for over 8 years now, and I don't think that we're nearly efficient enough to price things in properly. So yes, people are obviously positioned long around the ETF narrative, right? That's one of the major reasons why the market's been lifted up from the 20s to the 40s, right? Is ETF speculation and stuff. But, here's my simple argument for pricing in. I got bearish in November 2021, and a lot of people were talking about how the monetary change was priced in. In early 2022, in Q1 2022, in Q2, I would see people on Twitter and I would see people in streams or podcasts talking about how the rate change and the monetary policy change is priced in. And what happened, right? Bitcoin went from 60K to 15K, right? So no, it wasn't priced in. Bitcoin just went down for a year straight after that change came through. So I personally don't like to buy into the priced in thing. And yeah, really it can all go back to that. I said this in my tweet that I was just talking about earlier, right? You want to reduce orders of logic when you're thinking, right? So don't try to sit here and pretend that you're playing 5-dimensional chess, because you're not. You're actually probably going to do better if you just be a checkers player in the market. All right, moving forward. I like that we got some guy shilling a shitcoin on Pulse Chain in my chat. Buddy, you got the wrong fucking chat. Profiles on the left as they should be. Good to see Magus, a real trader now. I do both. It's situational. It depends on how my setup is. Hey Magus, do you think leading alts will continue to outperform deeper into the cycle, such as INJT, Say, Sol, etc.? Probably, but I'll talk about that hopeless in more detail when we get into the alts here. So give me like 10 minutes and we'll talk about that. Can I get your TradingView templates? You can join the Paragon and get them if you want. The Reactor. Say I look at BTC USDT order book Binance, and I look at BTC USDT on TradingView. The order book values are a bit diff. How do you understand that? I don't know, because I would not be looking at the order book on TradingView, right? I don't think TradingView order book. It's probably just because TradingView order book sucks and it's probably aggregating a fuck ton of ticks together. That's probably why it looks different. But yeah, throwaway. I would just not even really don't even worry about messing around with TradingView order books. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some shitters. So I'm gonna lightly run through ETH. ETH has been definitely a flavor of the month recently, and I'm going to shit on it for a moment. So brace yourself if you're an ETH bull. As somebody who, I'll preface this by saying I've been a ETH bull in the past, and I want to be an ETH bull again, but ETH needs to give me a reason to want to be bullish on it, and it has not done that for a long time. So the core plan on ETH is effectively the same as Bitcoin, it's just lagging. So ETH is just like Bitcoin was wedged between 44 and 38K. It's the same argument here with ETH. As long as ETH is between 2,500 and 2K, which are its support and resistance currently, you expect it to be relatively range bound. If ETH gets above 2,500, it goes towards 3,500. If ETH gets below 2K, then it goes to 1,500. That's the simple ETH plan on high time frame. I don't really care about messing with it too much. I have as little of a ETH allocation as I've basically ever had right now. I've been Bitcoin and Solana all throughout 2023. I was Bitcoin and Sol bagged up, and for now it seems that's going to be the case. A little bit of a leak is that my plan for ETH is that eventually ETH will have its time to shine, and I think that will largely come around a stage when the market is really in like mania risk on. I think is when ETH is really going to have its moment to shine. There is potential emergence of strength from narratives around the ETF, which I'm not really buying into right now personally, but I'm open to changing my opinion and accepting that I should have paid attention to that, etc. So ignore all this shit. Let's go ahead and go to ETH BTC. This is one of the main reasons, I don't really chart stuff against BTC that much, but this is one of the main reasons why you want to go ahead and just disrespect this thing. Throughout the majority of ETH's lifetime, ETH gets underperformed by Bitcoin. If you actually look at ETH on really high time frame, which we can actually do that really quickly. I haven't done this in a long time. Let's do this for experimental purposes. Is this the right ticker? Yeah, I guess it's close enough. So if you actually look at ETH, and you look at, like throughout 2016, ETH got outperformed by Bitcoin. And then ETH has its little windows, right, where it performs and then gets outperformed. ETH has these sustained periods of underperformance from Bitcoin, right, from 2018 all the way till, basically 2021. So this is where that argument comes in, is that basically once the market really heated up, April 2021 is when ETH actually started to grossly outperform Bitcoin. So I think that eventually whenever we're in mania mode, which is April 2021 was in the middle of mania for sure, right? That's when DeFi had really kind of started to die off, and May is when the big liquidation event came. So this looks pretty bad to me, right? As long as this is trending down, I'm going to be bearish on it. Eventually, I do think that it will do something where we will be in a mania mode and this thing will have an up candle like that, and I'm going to hopefully be long for it, right? But for the time being, I think that this thing is just a piece of shit still. So there's no reason to really respect ETH until it tells you to respect it. And, I've been talking about this a lot on streams, and particularly in the group. Every time we get one of these moves, you see people on the timeline talking about ETH and how ETH is about to, it's ETH season, right? ETH BTC, look at the ETH BTC chart. It's time for ETH beta, et cetera, and then we just mean revert the whole thing. So this has been happening for a long time now. Every time people celebrate on the timeline, it mean reverts a couple days later. So my opinions on ETH remain the same. Eventually, I will be a turbo ETH bull, and I will maybe even be obnoxious about it, slamming tweets all the time about ETH, telling people to buy my bag, etc. But for the time being, I have very little ETH, and this thing's a piece of shit. So we'll digress. I'm gonna go ahead and get into some shit coins, and then we can see where we go from there. So I'm gonna run through the shit coins I like. You guys are welcome to throw some shit coins in the chat if you want. But yeah, I'm going to prioritize my list first because my list is probably better than yours. And then and then we'll look at your shitcoins. So first we're going to cover is going to be OP. So I've taken a couple of longs on OP here and there. Basically, idiot argument is that, we broke all-time high and we retested it cleanly and we have, broken away from it. So currently it's very much looking like, what INJ looked like when INJ broke all-time high at like $18 or whatever and then went to 40. So same kind of vibes. I think that I'm going to keep hunting OP longs, and I think that OP will probably be a turbo chat in the not so distant future. So, the little bit of spice that will drop is that, you just, with these kind of things, you just gotta, when you have lower time frame VWAPs that have bullish structure, just buy retests into them, and then you're going to outperform that way. Next one is WorldCoin. So WorldCoin is one that I really like as well. This is a classic triangle meme scenario right now. Give me my drawing tool, motherfucker. You can see it more clearly on like lower time frame, right? So like on the hourly, it's super obvious, right? So I actually do have a WorldCoin position open right now, which I probably will add upon when I think, if I think that we're actually going to break out, I probably will add to this. So I actually am long this. I'm actually long OP right now as well. from lower. And I actually have a couple of longs right now, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't really want to share all of them with you. So yeah, I really like WorldCoin, and I think that WorldCoin will probably do something like this. And I don't know why my take profit is all the way right here, because realistically my take profit on this thing will probably be like way the fuck up here, right? If this thing breaks out, it's gonna do like a leg, right? I don't know why it was drawn like that. Actually, I mean, this isn't even my real entry, so that's why. That wasn't even a real, it was just a reminder to talk about it, I think. Another one is EDU. Let's go to the yearly for this one. Oh, we're already on the yearly. Let's go to the quarterly then. So immediate local trend on this one, I really like. I think, let's look at this. Why is it not drawing it? Immediate resistance on this thing is like right where it's at. I don't know why my level got deleted, but around like 76 or 75 cents is macro resistance for EDU. It's had a pretty healthy trend, and it looks like it's compressing into that macro resistance. If EDU can get through this kind of region, then it could, you know, basically travel all the way to the other end of value. So where the supply is at and where this, you know, high volume node is, basically if EDU starts to get into this low volume node, it should be able to go all the way to the other end, which is a large move. So I'm keeping a close eye on EDU still. I've not been trading this one very much, but I like the looks of the coin for sure. Ordinals, I'm actually long ordinals right now from like 72. I think I really like ordinals basically. It's just being a classic triangle memer. So I think that, yeah, it's probably going to keep going up. It looks like TIA and all these other shitcoins, they just keep triangling their way up. FET, I haven't been paying too much attention to FET, but it's basically the same exact thing as what we just said on EDU. Has that same type of trend into its macro resistance. If it gets above 75 cents, it goes up a lot. Render's another pretty decent coin. Strong local trend. You know, I would say dips are for buying on Render. INJ has been an interesting one. If we look at it from a yearly point of view, this thing is, you know, was an absolute, you know, monster. This was the best performing liquid coin of the entire year, by far. I think the only thing that might have beaten it was TIA, I believe. But yeah, this thing had a monster performance. So where we're at now with INJ is I currently am a little bit hesitant to be risk on with INJ. I think I want to watch INJ continue to develop just because it heated up so much. And structurally, it doesn't actually look as bullish right now as some of the other coins. So I think I will want to be a turbo bull on INJ. Some of my buy the dip zones are basically into previous VWAP structuring, right? So this demand block that overlaps with previous quarterly and previous monthly, that's a really good zone right here. So like $30 or maybe all the way down to 20, but 30 is probably your more likely zone that you maybe get kind of value compression, maybe get like a wick into here, maybe, I don't know, something like this. I would trade that if I saw that to the upside. But other than that, I would more or less be just chilling and waiting. Some other really Chad coins. So obviously everyone knows about the Say Sands coin. I haven't traded this one as much as I probably should have, but this thing's a fucking absolute monster. So yeah, I mean, there isn't really too much to say on this thing. This is a, you know, just a classic dip buyer. And you know, if you look at it, let's go to like 30 minutes so I can draw it properly. This just kind of depicts the way that the triangles kind of play out, where you have your triangles form, and they seem to, on a lot of these coins, build up faster and faster till you get to a point where you're going up parabolic. So this is almost parabolic. I bet you this thing will probably do one more triangle and get close to $1 and then break down, or go like way through $1, right? It's not going to just like go to $1. It's going to front run it, or it's going to blast through it, one of the two. Kind of like how everyone was focused on $100 for Solana, and Solana just blasted through $100 to 120 in like one candle. Okay, another coin that I like, I'm currently long on TIA. I like TIA right now. I think that it's doing a classic triangle, so I do think it's just a matter of time before TIA is trading up higher again. There isn't really too much to say on a lot of these coins that look good like this. Avalanche, I don't have any positioning on Avalanche right now. Similar vibes to INJ, where I am still really bullish on it, but I want to wait for it to give me a better setup to actually get long upon. Solana, I'm a big fan of Solana all year last year. This thing definitely carried me in a big way, and as it stands, similar-ish vibes, where I a little bit more bullish on Sol than maybe Avalanche or TIA or something, but I would probably want to wait on this one a little bit. I think in general, guys, you want to be pretty light on your feet right now as we, go into next week, right? Because the beginning of next week or late this week is when the ETF stuff's going to happen, guys. So a lot of this stuff is subject to change. That's pretty much it for the shitcoins that I'm interested in. I don't really care about too many of these other ones. Some of these other ones, like some of the ETH beta things, like, Arbitrum. Arbitrum looks really good still. I think LDO looks really good still. LDO is basically about to, like, send all-time highs, is what it looks like. So... yeah, I mean, a lot of the other shitcoins I'm not super interested in. Damn, I'm surprised to see fucking Perp doing that. Damn. And I fucked up on Perp because I actually disregarded this one. All right, so I'll look at your tickers and then answer questions and then probably wrap it up in the not so distant future. So, let's see about Arbitrum. Yeah, so I kind of already did Arbitrum. We'll go back to it really quickly. So basically, let's go to the yearly. As far as Arbitrum is concerned, I really wanted to see us get above $1.20 once we did. It was like risk on. So as it stands, this kind of region makes no sense to be holding back Arbitrum in some sort of meaningful way. So you're either just going to get consolidation and break out, or maybe you get a pullback into a breakout. But I would definitely be looking for long continuation on this because I don't think that this is what's going to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, Arbitrum's definitely in risk on mode right now. Damn, I see some real shitcoins popping up in the chat. I'm not going to do on-chain stuff. Yeah, I'm going to look at Bonk. Probably just going to bully Bonk. Binance perp listing, down only. The classic meme coin scenario. When these things are spot, they're up only. Pepe followed the same exact... Pepe followed the same exact schematic. It was up only, and then the perp gets listed and it's down only. Bro, if you guys are telling me to look out some dumb shit. Alright, I'm going to look at your on-chain shitcoin that's down horrendously. There's no way you're telling me to look at this. Good luck, brother. If ETHBTC is shitty, why are layer 2s like OP running? If ETHBTC is shitty, why are layer... I mean, just Bitcoin, how do I word that? I mean, shitcoins can just go up regardless of whatever's going on. Is something to point out, right? All it needs is a push. Honestly, the ETH beta plays working right now probably can largely be attributed to just fucking Osaka shilling it, honestly. That's really how things work, right? Always takes me back to that Sasquatch Music Festival video. INJ probably going to lose some steam for a while. Yeah, I kind of... agree with that. Fern, what's my take on TRB? Yeah, good call. I should have. I mean, I probably don't have too much insight to really share on. Where the fuck is this thing at right here? All right, so this was like pretty wild to watch. I didn't trade it because this was like right peak around, New Year's. So I was like, trying to be a human being and live my life. But yeah, this thing was stupid. So let's look at it from an open interest standpoint. I think we're about to just see gigatoxic flow. Yeah, so this is just straight up like, I don't like to, let's turn all this off. Okay, so I don't like to be they're manipulating kind of guy, but this is just straight up like just toxic flow, just like running people over and like, yeah, it's just manipulation for sure. So you can kind of see that it starts with like a slow grind up. It all starts with liquid, like, you stop out the longs and then you start the rally, which largely appears to be just shorts getting squeezed out. So kill the longs. Then you put on the shorts. Likely via TWAP, right? So basically, if I am the guy trying to run things, if I want to put pressure on these shorts, I just slam consecutive market orders into the book and slowly put pressure on the shorters so that the shorters eventually do the work for me by closing other positions and lifting price into an illiquid book, because I'm the market maker. So I'm just not going to have ask liquidity during this period, right? So I'm going to run the stops of the longs, then I'm going to pull the ask liquidity, start to put pressure on the shorters by TWAPing. The sellers are going to start to close out their longs, which is going to help me push price up. And then I'm going to aggressively market short the piss out of it, because that's what they did next, right? So they put pressure on the shorts through TWAP. They removed the asks first, right? They put pressure on the shorts via TWAP aggressively. Then they aggro shorted the fuck out of it, right? Which, disgusting flows, right? This is not like, something, 60%, 70% open interest increase of just largely shorts just driving price down. We could look at it a little bit more detail oriented on the 1 minute, but it's going to give us the same picture. So that's, market maker, or just whatever fucking DFW scam 101. I'm only talking about the perp. They're doing a lot of spot stuff as well. They're doing a lot of on-chain stuff as well. So there's many other things to consider. But, the final kind of piece of the puzzle is the short kind of closing out right here too, right? So not only did he killed the longs, drove price up and put pressure on the shorts, shorted it himself down a fuck ton. He pushed price down 65%, and then he closed out his short right here. This is almost, it's almost for sure the short closing out, because the open interest matches roughly, which is not a smart way to do things, by the way. You don't really want to guesstimate that. But in these instances with a turbo shitcoin, I'm probably right about that, right? So that's that. And then this thing will probably be forgotten for a time being, and then it will probably scam its way on again, because I actually missed a lot of this thing's more recent price action, but I was trading TRB a lot at the beginning of the trend. So this part of the trend, I traded the fuck out of this trend. So I'm super surprised to see it have done all this stuff, if I'm being honest. So yeah, hopefully you guys find that educational in some way. But that's just not something you would ever see on a liquid coin. You could only ever see that on a less liquid coin that the supply is cornered, right? Because one of the key things is that, the DFW firm, they control the supply of this coin. So that's one of the main reasons why they're able to play God mode with it. So yeah, hopefully you didn't get licked. What up, Doc? More questions about TRB? Yes, hopefully you guys found that useful enough. Let's see. What about the BRC20 narrative? Yeah, so, I'm not gonna lie, I have, no fucking clue, from a fundamental or educational standpoint with the BRCs. I have, a layman's understanding, but it's one of the reasons why I long the ordinals. I'm long ordinals right now because it's Bitcoin beta and Bitcoin is strong, and also the BRC20 narrative is getting shielded a lot. TRB is a scam. You want to look at Filecoin? I haven't traded Filecoin much in a long time. Yeah, I don't really like this that much. Kudos to anybody that's participated in the local uptrend. But if I'm being honest, yeah, I hate when the profile loads like this. That looks disgusting. I don't really like how this looks personally, because it's kind of that immediate resistance and doesn't have an actually really strong trend on it. So I would probably just, that's why I've been ignoring, it's at the at the bottom of my trading list for a reason. I don't, yeah, a lot of these coins just are better forgotten. Sorry, Adam, I'm not interested in worrying about your on-chain shitcoin, if I'm being honest, bro. I don't do that kind of stuff. I trade liquid perps for the most part. Look at BNB. Yeah, we can look at BNB. I haven't looked at BNB in a minute. Holy shit, it's already it's back at 300. So BNB, my chart's kind of ugly, but yeah, I wouldn't be particularly bullish on BNB. The time to be bullish on BNB was, in the past. I don't really think that this is something that's going to perform super well. I don't really know what to say. The educational thing I can say for BNB is I look at BNB as a risk barometer for the entire market. When BNB looks like it's going to go down, that's a reason to be risk off. When BNB looks like it can go up, that's a reason to be risk on. I don't know that that will be the case forever, because likely we're going to have some big shifts in the market, regime, because of Binance. Maybe they'll lose market dominance and some other people will swoop in on it. But yeah, I'll digress. More questions about the TRB? Yes, I already did that. BNB, we did that. FTM. Yeah, I have FTM on my I eat list. It looks basically like what we just saw with Filecoin, where it's, the local uptrend is enticing. Yeah, I mean, I just think that there's better coins than something like FTM. I'd much rather be in newer coins or just like things that have clearly much stronger structuring. You guys want me to look at H-bar? I probably haven't traded H-bar since 2019. On spot too. Yeah, same thing as like Filecoin. It's got a decent local uptrend to it, but I don't like the structuring. It's like macro bearish still. Basically, this is not a place to care about it. If it gets above this, then anywhere in this region you can buy to trade up to here, or like, maybe here or something. But this is like, I don't like buying where it's at or anything. And it's not particularly strong compared to a lot of the other stuff that's actually leading. You would think that the TRB stuff would be illegal, but there's just nobody to watch and to regulate it, right? Damn, how have I not had fucking Mina on my list when it looks like this? God damn. Every now and then, a good coin slips through the cracks and goes unnoticed by myself. That's not very common, though. This looks like a pretty fucking good scam. I'm gonna put it in good scams, to be honest. This looks pretty fucking good. I would just, yeah, I'll just buy dips on it. I don't know what to say. I don't really want to tell you where to buy. There you go. Can you show entire TradingView watch list? I mean, I have boomer shit up here. I have my benchmarks, good scams, dollies, scams, betas, IETs, and then like total trading list of mostly garbage down here. It's not that exciting. I do think that definitely a slight edge in the organizational aspect of it, though. It definitely helps me stay on top of shit. Can you take a look at Wi-Fi? I like looking at the Wi-Fi chart and then bragging about the fact that I sold the Wi-Fi token at $81,000. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This for sure looks like it's trading lower, right? A liquid move, no momentum, chopping downwards. This is gonna trade lower. I don't like this at all. This is the classic. There's a reason why I don't look at Wi-Fi anymore, right? It has bad structuring. It's it's just forgotten, Wi-Fi was a massive deal when it came out. It really pushed the DeFi space forward a lot, but, it's 2 years old now. Doesn't matter anymore, I don't think. Buddy, I'm not gonna be upset if your shitcoin goes 1,000x and I didn't buy it. Like once per week, I get somebody that comes in here and tries to say like, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna feel bad if you didn't buy this thing. I don't think some of you guys don't realize how many shitcoins I've seen go up. I don't give a fuck if they go up without me. The other thing you don't realize is I've probably fucking bought and dumped those kind of shitcoins on you more than you ever have. Don't come in my chat and give me attitude like that. I don't appreciate that. Doing this for you guys. I don't fucking get anything out of this shit. No problem, Fern. Listening VWAP flip was goated on ARB a few months ago for sure. Yeah, I didn't really, Doc, I would talk about that on all my streams, and I didn't even trade it myself like an idiot. I was focused on too many other things. Ether 2 turd coins are all liquid, that's why? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. Is like OP actually illiquid on a perp? Probably not. What will happen to TRB now? It will probably chop and do nothing for a long time. People will forget about it, and then we'll probably run another sort of scam in the future. Where did you learn something like that? Experience? Can you tell me what you're talking about? Sorry, I'm saying too many things. I don't know what you're referring to. Lennon or Leon. Leland. Damn, I can't read. MC? I think, didn't Merit Circle change to, yeah, Merit Circle is Beam now, my guy. 90% sure about that. Which I don't really like Beam that much right now, the way it looks. It's not one of the coins that I'm really respecting, because I don't like how its triangle is developing right here. A lot of other ones, right, I want to see it making higher lows, and it's making lower lows. So it does have support at the major VWAP right now. So maybe, let me delete this for you. What I'll be looking for to be bullish on Beam is if it gets back through this region, gets back into this high volume, then I could use that for risk invalidation, basically. So I would want to see it show a little bit more bullishness before I would actually trade it. You did get licked? I assume you're probably talking about on the TRB. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That shit was fucking savage. So, I mean, that thing was moving around like crazy. This is a narrative of scammers. Interesting. I don't know what you're referring to. Can you take a look at auction? I've seen that one a lot recently. Has a perp, right? Yeah, we like them with the perps. Ooh, I don't know about all this. I don't like how this is developing. If I wanted to trade this, maybe I'd be looking to run the big booty strat. Let it round out and form a big booty, and then it can go up. Otherwise, I would probably be just observing this one right now. I don't really like how this is not good development, right? You wanted to see it break up from here. It tried to triangle and it got smacked down. You wanted to see it go up, right? And it got turbo smacked. SNX? Does SNX actually look good? All right. It doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's clearly not like a market leader is the thing. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look good either. Maybe if you get a dip into like 330, you buy that. But I don't know. I could see, this probably will go up because Bitcoin will probably go up eventually. But I don't really like this one personally for a bet. No CZ, no BNB. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, looks pretty interesting. See if the spot pair has more history. Oh yeah, it definitely does. Okay, so I think that Woo actually looks pretty fucking good. Their token does, at least. I don't know anything about the exchange itself, but this is definitely obviously immediate resistance, but I don't think it's really going to hold it back. Look at the distribution, the volume. So I would say dips are for buying on this one. The problem with Woo right now is immediate term. It looks like it probably will trade lower, but I guess that will just help you get an entry if this is something you actually want to be long on. But yeah, I would say lower and then higher. Rune. Rune's been pretty strong past quarter. I don't really have too much to say on it because I don't trade it. Maybe dips are for buying. Immediate structuring looks really quick. It's going to trade back though. So I would maybe just chill on this one. I say this every time that someone asks me. I just have certain coins I don't really like trading, and Rune's one of them. Yeah, so you can see DFW's coin on their website. The joy of missing out. I've just experienced the too many thing that's going up, it's going down, you know, kind of experiences to care anymore about missing some new coin, right? I just straight up don't care. I know that over a long enough time horizon, there's going to be plenty of opportunity, and as long as I am selective and try to do things this kind of, you know, smart way, that I'll do well in the long run, right? It's like you know, you could chalk it up to like a variance type of equation, right? So, right, through enough, or maybe we'll even simplify it, right? We'll do the law of big numbers is the even easier way to explain it. With enough, you know, with enough days that go by, I'm gonna do well over, you know, basically I want more days into my data set, if that makes any sense. Look at perp. Yeah, we can look at perp. Starting to get bored of tickers, to be honest, though, so I'm gonna focus on questions here soon. Yeah, perp, like, it's an absolute monster right now. I don't really have too much to say about this one, other than I wish I had stuck with this plan and not moved it to my shitcoin list, and I totally forgot about this. I actually traded, I think that this is probably it, right? I traded the shit out of this move because this was like a liquidity suck coin where it was just putting in like 250,000 ticks every 5 minutes and stuff. This was wild. So I traded this and then forgot about it during all this. So yeah, I mean, this thing looks ridiculously good is the only thing to say. I would probably recommend, if you're long on this, to look at the spot pairing, get a better idea of what's going on. And I would say, holy fuck, this thing is ready to send, because it has already gotten through all of its major resistance points. And this is just air. So this thing could probably drift up 100%, you know, or, you know, 150%, no problem. Which I don't really normally get that bullish about things, you know. I'm normally like to bully shit coins, but this thing is looking real good. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend just buying it where it's at up 22%, but you gotta be more strategic, buy your VWAP, pull back, etc. Let's see. All right, you're talking about the TRB scam. You had a very clear vision of how the market moved that. Oh, sure, right. So being able to depict the TRB thing is, like, to be clear, there's no, like, guarantee that what I said was correct, right? I would say that there's a reasonable, you know, definitely higher than 50% chance, you know, probably like 80%, 85% chance that I'm right in my TRB depiction. But yeah, I think that that's just understanding how markets work. Right? How does passive aggressive, how's that relationship operate? And then being able to read open interest, right? Because when you look at OI with that TRB chart, it's pretty obvious what happens, in my opinion at least. So yeah, experience. I've been reading flows a long time, open interest, and passive aggressive relationship. If you haven't already, on my YouTube channel, I have a short video called Toxic Flow about toxic order flow. Go watch that and learn the idea of what toxic flow is. It's going to help you in your understanding of what market makers are doing. What are your top spot picks for 2024, technically speaking? Damn, this guy wants the real spice. My top picks for 2024, Bitcoin, Solana. That's all I got for you, because I don't fucking know. What I traded 3 months ago is different than what I'm trading today. Than when I was trading 2 weeks ago is different than what I'm trading today. So I don't know what spot things to tell you to just print money. I think that the thing over the next couple of years, or maybe call it next 5 years, the things from a spot point of view that are really going to outperform for myself are things that probably don't even exist right now. So I don't really have anything to tell you. Do you already have limit orders in this area of interest? No, I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but almost certainly not. I don't really keep resting orders all that often. If I do, they're going to only be partial size. Most of the time when I'm doing resting orders, it's not for higher time frame. I really only do resting orders for intraday and scalp, primarily scalp. With swing and positional, I'm much more reactive, where I will just get in now instead of, you know, waiting. You know, I want price to come into my region and watch it with my eyeballs, and then I'll execute it rather than just letting it fill me on its own. Big booty strat. CT loves the big booties. Check XMR. Damn, dude. I'm about to bully your coin, probably. I haven't traded this since probably 2018 or 2019. I'm very surprised by what I'm seeing right now. It actually kind of has this orderly higher time frame uptrend from 2022. That's very surprising. XMR actually kind of looks good. You know, would I bet on this? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not, right? I don't like the risk to reward. I don't like the fact that it has like no momentum, and I don't think the risk to reward is really there on it. So if you're like a bag holder on this, you're probably going to be fine, but you are going to get outperformed by other coins for sure with this. Aptos. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Aptos because Q1 2023, this thing was a GigaChad coin. This is the OG Big Booty coin. So yeah. We always go back to this lesson, right? The big booty and then the distribution cycle. These two diagrams are so good for fresh altcoins for you guys. Currently where we're at, I have been bearish on this for a long time. Currently where I'm at with this one is I wouldn't be bearish on it anymore. I would be probably looking for continuation plays. It looks like a lot of the other coins where it has like strong local uptrend and a bearish higher time frame trend. So I really like that too much. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that it's clearly not at the top of my list for a reason. I'm not super interested in it, but it does look okay. How do you journal? I use the API for automated journaling, and then I do manual journaling with literally just Google Sheets to focus on the kind of emotional performance side. With something like TIA and say in Discovery, how do you swing it as your intraday or scalp only? I mostly do lower time frame trading for these shitcoins. Like in between swing and intraday is where I would describe it. So they're like a couple days long of normally. How do you you're basically, how do you trade something that has no levels is what you're asking, right? If it's going up, how do I know when to sell it? That's what you're asking, right, bully? The answer is you don't know when to sell it, and you just got to, try your best to have a system to help you discern that. But at the end of the day, there's no way to have certainty when you're selling the top, that you're not selling early, etc. You just got to, be objective about it, focus on, are you up a lot, etc. Right? These kind of things. And, for me personally, I focus on flows and momentum, and that's how I try to gauge when I need to sell things, right? Flows and momentum is pretty much everything for me. Do you cross and compound scalp and put profits into spot? No. All the lower time frame stuff I just keep. I just withdraw and keep in stables generally. How I compound spot is generally with swinging. So if we look at last year, I was able to successfully hedge every downturn last year except for this one. I fucked this one up because I closed my hedge out too early. But basically, for this one that I played really well, if you hedge this and then you survive, you see a 15% pullback and then you close out your hedge, you can use that to buy spot. So that's generally how I do it. So I manually bought spot at the beginning of the year, and then a couple times throughout I bought the 25K retest. That was the last time I bought. And yeah, every time I hedge, I normally use the hedge profits to buy more spot. That's how I do it personally. I really, from a psychological standpoint though, I really like the idea of having my intraday and scalp profits like more tangible and realized right in front of me. Look at say. I already went over say, but we'll look at it really quickly. There isn't too much to say on things that look like this. It's in price discovery mode. It's doing rapid triangles. So I would be doing, buy shallow pullbacks on this bitch. Really simple stuff. I would be trading daily and weekly VWAPs on this thing, and I would be looking for weekly pullbacks. If I can get a weekly pullback, I'll buy it. And that's like the simple approach, right? I would just straight up just buy VWAP pullbacks. But ape, damn. I'm really, all right, we're going to be done pretty soon because I'm really bored of looking at shitcoins. Yeah, I don't have anything at all nice to say about Ape. This looks like absolute garbage. There's a reason why I've ignored it for a long time. It doesn't even have a like decent local uptrend. So yeah, I mean, go ahead and just forget about the Bored Ape community because they're probably not going to make it next cycle. Oh, I'm going to tilt some people with that one for sure. Definitely clip that one and ship it and get everybody upset. Oh yeah, sorry, Helpless. I didn't. Do I think that leading alts will continue to outperform deeper into the cycle? It depends. So the short answer is probably yes, but again, you got to be light on your feet and acknowledge the fact that these things are always subject to change. So yes, I think the things that have been performing will probably be leaders going into the Q1, but that could always change. I don't have a crystal ball. Andrew King mentioned Ape. Yeah, I don't. Teach their own. Teach their own. NVIDIA chart. Damn, bro. You want me to look at NVIDIA? What the fuck's the ticker for this one? NVDA? Yeah. I hate looking at this thing because I sold my NVIDIA stock way too fucking early. Yo. I sold my NVIDIA stock before it even fucking split, dude. I think I sold my NVIDIA stock in 2018 or 2019. One of these, I don't remember. Maybe in 2018, hopefully. But they did a fucking stock split on this thing. So I think I had like one share was like $300 over here, and I sold like all my NVIDIA stock, and then it went up a fuck ton. After that, like I'm just a turbo idiot for this one. So I hate looking at this thing. If I was to give you something actually useful when looking at this chart, I would say that, you know, if you get a dip into this kind of region, you probably want to buy it. And I would basically just say that's it. Dips are probably for buying on this thing. Crypto is the most opportunistic market in history. Should never cope about missing a coin. Always another. Big facts, Doc. Big facts. What up, Nikki? Kramer says you can't kill BTC. Oh, fuck, boys. It's over. Kramer said to buy Bitcoin. Please, no. I'm trying to be a bull right now. Have you thought about any option strategies leading up to the ETF decision? I don't really trade options, to be honest, my brother. I have traded options. I understand how to trade them and how they work. It's not something I really do. There's only really one market for options that I would want to trade it, and that's probably Deribit, and I don't have access to them currently, so. Counter trade Kramer indeed. All right, guys. I caught up with chat. We're an hour and 15 minutes into the stream, so I am going to wrap it up here momentarily. Do me a favor, press that like button if you didn't already. 140 of you watching, only 86 likes. That math is not mathin'. Yeah, just keep a close eye on the corn going into the ETF, guys. Don't get caught up too much in any sort of opinions or bias. Try to be loose, light, agile. I think there's a lot of money to be made in 2021 or in Q1. I mean, I think this quarter one is probably going to be spicy. Do you trade Bitcoin futures? I do. I do a lot, actually. I primarily trade futures for the purpose of portfolio management, right? So that's how I hedge most of the time. Sometimes I use futures for swing longs. What do you think about older coins like Shiba and Doge? I think Shiba's probably cooked. Doge has the Lindy effect. Doge will survive for a long time. You know, Doge is chilling. Doge will be back. Bitcoin is now headline news on regional news website where I live. I think it's over. Yeah, it might be. Like, one of my main plans is I think that we just do this. We go up into the ETF. ETF gets approved. We go up, and then we go down. And I plan to be this guy that sells there. So I do think, yeah, I think that we'll go up and then down, ultimately. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the positive comments in the chat. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So it's the second day of the year. Good luck out there in 2024. I will see you guys soon. Next Tuesday, most likely. I do have some plans to be doing some collaborative streams with some friends soon. EXO and Sting are the two people I've been talking to. A couple other people as well. So yeah, we should hopefully have some more outlooks for myself, and then hopefully some more duo streams with some of the boys, so we can get some experience from other guys that have been trading a long time. So anyways,